hedge fund, Elliot Management, declined to give us a statement yesterday, but just minutes ago, they posted a response on the blogging platform Medium. In a statement, Elliot Management denied responsibility for the Cabelas sale. The company was exploring a sale before Elliot bought a stake, they said. They also said Elliot did not exert, we're quoting now, direct influence on the Cabelas board to pressure them into that decision. But SEC filings contradict this claim. Cabelas did consider selling itself before Paul Singer arrived, but in August of 2015, they rejected that path. Suddenly, after Singer's purchase, they reversed course. Otherwise, Elliot contests no essential parts of last night's reporting on this show. They did end the statement with a promise, and we're quoting now, to protect and grow their clients' hard-earned capital. We're certain they're being honest, at least on that point. Ned Ryan is founder and CEO of American Majority, and he joins us tonight. Ned, thanks so much for coming on. I have to ask you, since you are part of the kind of professional conservative firmament and have been for a long time, you know the landscape well. Paul Ryan, I beg your pardon, not Paul Singer, is one of the biggest contributors to conservative organizations. How would you describe his influence on professional conservatism in this country, on the Republican Party?
Well, I prefer to call most of this conservative class in Washington, D.C. nothing but a racket. Conservative Inc. has been selling out the interests of most of the American people for decades. The problem that we have here, Tucker, in all of this, I mean, again, it's hard for me to accept the fact that Paul Singer, and I actually argue the Kochs, are barely Republicans and certainly not conservatives. And I would argue that any self-respecting conservative shouldn't be taking money from them, but no self-respecting conservative should be seen at a Koch seminar and actually be giving the Kochs money. And the problem is the influence that they have on these. I think we actually, there are a couple things that we've got to have the conversation about. One is, if the majority of the American people start to look at the behavior of Paul Singer and Charles Koch as what is exemplifies the GOP and capitalism, I think it'll be devastating to both the GOP and capitalism in the very near future. But I think we've got to have a conversation about Citizens United, Tucker. I get some of the arguments for it, but it has also empowered the vulture capitalist class to buy a lot of politicians and buy a lot of think tanks who are advocating and implementing policies that are antithetical to the interests of the American worker.
Well, and definitely seem antithetical to the views of Republican voters. I've never seen a bigger misalignment between what the voters want and what they get, thanks to a small number of donors. And you're absolutely right, Charles Koch. I don't want to pretend like it's just Paul Singer. It's certainly not just Paul Singer.
That's right.
Charles Koch probably even more.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And the influence that they have over the white papers and the thinking that's coming out of the Conservative Inc., the racket. Again, people are identifying this as the true conservative movement. I lost all belief and faith and trust that that's what conservatism was about years ago. And in fact, I think we have to really reconsider what the conservative movement actually is, not only what it's advocating, but actually who's funding it and what are its priorities. You know, is its priorities this billionaire class of vulture capitalists, or is it actually on behalf of the American worker and the American people? I have to tell you, Tucker, I think we're kind of living in an illusion right now. You know, we say we have a republic of we the people, for the people.
Yeah.
I would argue we haven't had that for decades, and the people that are supposed to be defending and advocating for it, they abandoned that a long time ago, so they're going to have their 6- and 7-figure salaries and their marble bathrooms with their gold-plated bathrooms. This is getting to the point of absurdity. We have to have a conversation about this as well.
Yeah, it's dangerous too. I mean, we're playing with fire. Fake democracy frustrates people to the point where it becomes, scary. And so we should stop this right away.
The last point I'll make is this: the last time we had this about 100 years ago, where the uber wealthy and politicians actually created a system that was rigged against the American people. We got progressivism, which has devastated this country. What's going to be the reaction to this? I don't know, but it's not going to be good.
I agree. That's exactly right. Ned Ryan, thank you.
Thanks, Tucker.
Hillary Clinton keeps being